When you've been injured in an accident or on the job due to the negligence of others, know this: your community has your back. Communities look out for each other, and I protect my community. Whether I'm fighting for a personal injury case, medical negligence, or winning the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history, you will receive personalized and aggressive representation with a goal to maximize your win. Scan now to schedule your free consultation. Osborne and Francis, real tough lawyers.
Top recruits now. This is football. Chop up. Chop up. Real talk. No front. If you ain't got an offer, you better tune in and level up.
Gotta bring you in right, man. Gotta bring you in with the right kind of music and everything.
You better stay ready.
That's what I'm talking about.
Film exposure. Keep it steady. One shot, one play. That's all it takes. Football Chop Up. Powered by Top Recruits now.
You know you big time when you got your own theme song.
Get recruited.
Wait, watch this. See, in the back, I got the get recruited in the background. What's up?
I love it.
Hey, this is gonna be one of my favorite shows. I truly love all the HBCUs that are coming, all of my boys. But this is my partner right here, man, Toriano Morgan. And what we're gonna do, man, before we even get started, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself because I don't want nobody to be like, hey, I don't want to leave out anything, that. So I'm gonna let you do the intros for this very important football chop up. Tell the people who you are, a little bit about your past, and what you're doing now, and why you're on this call.
All right. Well, my name is Coach Toriano Morgan. I am a native of the great state of Florida. Played high school football at the illustrious Dillard High School, was able to move on to Tennessee State University where I played there. Then got right into coaching right out of college. Was able to GA there at Tennessee State. And football has just been amazing to me. It's taken me to wear a lot of different hats. I've been a high school head coach at Dillard High School. I've been a college head coach at Edward Waters University, college assistant, various places throughout the country, 2 stints in Virginia, Virginia State, Virginia Union, Tennessee State, and now the assistant head coach, running back coach and high school recruiting coordinator at the illustrious, prominent Florida A&M University here in Tallahassee, located on the highest of 7 hills.
Hey, I wasn't down with that, but my daughter, my wife went to FAM, and I still wasn't down. But when my daughter walked the stage, pregnant and all, at FAM, I am a FAMulian now. They can get my money. I'm gonna donate everything. I was just talking to John Davis about it before we get started. Hey, all you FAMU alumni rattlers, I don't want to hear it. Y'all need to make donations so that the program can be where it wants to be. You can't keep talking about how you the greatest HBCU there is and you don't give back. That's I'm off that, the high horse. But so let's tell the people you're a football guy. So we're gonna ask the people. I'm gonna give you the same question I gave everybody else. Tell people what you're looking for as a football coach, a college football coach, and more importantly, you're a recruiting coordinator, which means you get to see everybody. Talk to them.
Okay, well, the biggest thing is, and I think it's the biggest misconception, is it's not necessarily, how good or how not so good of a football player you are that eliminates you from getting an offer or being offered by a program. It's 2 things that it basically comes down to: need and fit. Every year, your needs are going to be different. Matriculation is going to hit you. And you're gonna have to, be able to fill those needs, and your needs at offensive line this year might not be your need at offensive line next year. Your need at quarterback may not need. So when we're out, we are projecting where we're going. We know where we want to go. We want to get our guys in, but then the next thing it has to be a good fit. So being able to have a young man that actually is going to be a fit for our culture and what our culture looks like academically. There's some very high standards that we hold in our institution.
Hey, for y'all who don't know, he's taking time. They are literally right now. They just got out of tornado warning, so his Wi-Fi might be glitchy. So I'm gonna try to hang on a little bit to make sure we get him right, and then hopefully he can come back on and finish what he's saying. Uh, but if he doesn't, I'll redo this one and we will do it when he's able to put out what he needs to put out. Because we don't want to let FAMU not be able to be seen in its proper context. That has nothing to do with FAMU's facilities and their Wi-Fi. They are under tornado watch, so let's make sure that we clear. Because I know how sometimes we get, I don't want everybody feeling some kind of way. So let's see if my boy back on. Toriano, can you hear me? Nah, you can't hear me. So we go end this recording, and I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I will do it again with him, but we'll do it a little bit later on, and then I'll put it out later on tonight. Well, there you go. Oh, there you go. Okay,
There we go.
hey, there we go. All right. So, hey, I made sure that people knew that this had nothing to do with FAMU's facilities or anything like that. That y'all was just under tornado watch. So
Yes,
you take
yes.
the time
It's
out. So I
it's
want
it's
to make sure
storming
they did.
outside. Yeah.
I want to make sure they know. So yeah. So go ahead. You know how we
Yeah.
get.
So
So I want to make sure.
we get back into it has to be a good fit. We want young men to be successful when they come through our program. So our standards, our culture, we want to make sure that once they come in, they're able to matriculate through it academically, but also get the best athletic experience as possible. Ultimately, win some football games, and then continue on to their next walk of life.
What I will say, like to piggyback on that, I've had the fortune to know majority of the coaches on the family staff before they came on this staff here. And I will say this, man, it's a great collection of men, of men, because you even have a white coach on the staff that he's a good man. But you have a great collection of men that really care about these kids and want to give them opportunity to get their degrees and play, big time college football. So that's a credit to you guys. It's a credit to the staff that Quinn put together. Like I said, these are just good men. Like maybe you want your kids around. So with that being said, man, we talked about what you're looking for. Tell the people a little bit how recruiting's changed, because me and you had that conversation with this whole NIL and all this stuff. Explain to some of the parents, some of the kids who might not know, because everybody's on this D1, 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 D1. Explain how recruiting's changed.
Well, recruiting has changed. Even it's not the same today as it even was at this point in time last year. Calendars are a little
Mhm.
bit more aggressive. So right now, official visits are being taken, and committable offers are being offered to young men. So at this particular point in time, uh, it's real in the game as far as being able to make that decision. So if you're a young man that's actively being recruited, I've always used a tagline that I think it's very important. You got to love those that love you and be realistic about where you are in the process right now, and projection of where you're going to play. So, HBCUs are out on the road right now and offering guys, and you know, we get the opportunity now to with the transfer portal target high school guys that maybe a year or two ago we may not have been able to get because of just how recruiting has changed. So understanding that parents have to understand that this thing is forever changing. It's an ongoing process, and they need to make sure they educate themselves so they don't allow coaches to come in and blow smoke up and they're not informed, and be able to make informed decisions when it gets to the point to when it's time to rock and roll as far as making commitments.
And speaking of that, man, because someone asked me this. So they were asking about the camps, like, and I said one of the most important things that you can do is get yourself in front of a coach
Hmm.
and let the coach see you work out. Because there's a difference between watching game film and I'm actually literally sitting there watching you work out. What's your thoughts on that? And because I always, that's one thing. You've been down to the HBCU camps we have had before. You've seen kids get offered that they wouldn't have got offered. You took a kid that came in as a long snapper, and he ended up long snapping at Edward Waters for you, and his dad is very happy about that. So just kind of explain why they should make sure they go to these camps, because if someone said, well, they're already recruiting guys, and I was telling them, yeah, they got guys they know, but y'all are still active recruiting. But the thing about HBCUs, y'all are active recruiting all the way up until after signing day is over with.
Correct. And then even still with the HBCU camp, one thing that I can wholeheartedly say, being involved with it since the inception, I think one thing that the whole entire organization of how it's been set up is it's not just coaches that come to that particular camp, it's coaches that have influence on decisions that are being able to be made come to that camp. So at
Right.
that point in time, you get a head coach like a Quinn Gray that comes out there, and at that point, if he stamps a young man, that's a done deal. So you get a chance to now come and you have a great day if you fit the need at a particular university of what they're looking for. It's at the end of the cycle when coaches are able to go out. So at that point in time, it's a great time, and one of the final times that you're going to be able to see them live
Right.
before institutional camps start. So you get an opportunity to get in front of many head coaches that can make decisions, and you have a great day. There have been many young men that have walked out of that camp with the offer and had the opportunity to go on to institutions and further their football and academic careers.
Yeah, with that being said, hot off the presses, Mississippi Valley, T Buck, those guys are going to be coming as well. So we got this one here in Orlando on May 17th. The one in Miami is May 23rd. Now the Miami thing, man, I mean, one thing I love about those Miami kids, they won't play. They ain't worried
Right.
about D1, D2, D3. They be free. If it's free, it's good for them. You know, and the boys out there, and so I would recommend to anybody listening, especially if you're not in the Miami area, you might want to come to the May 17th one, because the Miami area is going to be full of talent. And you might not, you might want to go somewhere where they can really see you, where you have to take all that heat. Now, if you're a dog like me, I probably still go to Miami, but that's just me. I go to both, but hey, but everybody's different. So with that being said, man, we ain't got but two more questions, man. But the other one is, talk to me and talk to the people about player poaching. When I say player poaching, I'm talking about how HBCUs, and they don't understand that currently right now the bigger schools are coming and getting kids at HBCU. And as a matter of fact, you at an HBCU, you already know that if you got a running back and he's like that, he's probably going to be somewhere else the next year. So is to be fortunate enough to ball out and then leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just part of the game now. You can't take it, personal. I think maybe at the beginning of it, some coaches would say, it was personal, but now it's just part of the recruiting, it's part of the business.
Oh, yeah,
That you get a young man that
yeah,
comes in.
that might go. But go. There you go.
Okay, you got me now. Hello.
There you go. You good?
All right, we're good. So yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I got you now.
as I was stating, that's just part of recruiting now. It's part of the business now that young men, they come in and they do
There
what
you go.
they need to do.
I got you. Go there. Wherever you at,
Got
don't
me?
move.
Okay, you got me now.
Yeah, but nah, yeah, I got you now.
Okay. So, as I was saying, it's part of the actual business now of recruiting. That's a part of it. Young men come in, they do what they need to do. They have stellar seasons, great seasons, productive, and then you know, other institutions might be tracking them, might watch them, have former relationships with them, and then they get the opportunity to climb up. And the NIL and the rev sharing is a big part of it. So, they get opportunities to go and you know make a little money. Let's just call it what it is, and it's fair. So. You have to be able to again to project, and then we understand that again. We go back to the needs and the fits. So we always have to be out there actively recruiting because it is a form of free agency, and young men take advantage of it as they should.
Hey, I just had that conversation recently about that. Young men should take advantage of it. If I was actually talking to, he don't deserve no, talking to some little guy over there, man, that he's actually your boss's boss. I was talking to him like maybe 2 hours ago. I'm not gonna say his name because he didn't make me mad, but he is a member of illustrious Cap Alpha Psi, so I can't really do too bad about it. But we was having that conversation. He was the number one recruit back in his day. But guys don't understand that these coaches and people want to bash these kids for going to get that money when like Lane Kiffin just left and got 13 million. It just is what it is. But I just wanted to make sure people understood that HBCUs kind of have, because someone apparently asked me that, and I told them HBCUs don't have a problem with that. Like if you ball and you do what you're supposed to do and someone gets you, the HBCU is not going to be bad mouthing. Whereas a lot of these Group of 5 schools, if you ball, they might bad mouth you, try to keep you there. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
But it just in the previous form, leaving Edward Waters University, I had 3 receivers that in consecutive years got the opportunity to elevate from Division II football to playing Division I football and come into programs and be mainstays. And so it was an opportunity that, they came and they served, they did what they needed to do at Edward Waters. The opportunity presented itself, and they were able to kind of move on and put a little money in their pockets. And hey, more power to them. We get it.
Hey, like I always say, let me hold something. But anyway, man, with that being said, man, this is my last question for the day for you, man. Why FAMU? I mean, like if I'm a kid and I got these other schools, because we know that, quite frankly, we've been there. At the camp, and Waters may offer a kid, Jackson State may offer a kid, Hampton may offer a kid, FAMU, Mississippi Valley, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta. So why FAMU?
Why not? The when you talk about HBCUs and tradition, um, in that conversation, one of the first institutions that's going to be named is Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. When you start to talk about getting a top-notch education, and you talk about HBCUs and universities, period, throughout the country, you're going to talk about Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. When you talk about football programs that have been able to sustain over the years a level of standard of quality, you're going to talk about Florida A&M University. When you want to be coached correctly, um, you've got guys that have played at every level on this coaching staff that can get you better. Why not FAMU? But when you start to talk about coaching in the state of Florida, you're going to talk about Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. So with all those things line up and you talk about what's important to you as a player, a young man, we're going to get you developed athletically, socially, and academically. And at the end of the day, you're going to be all in with Coach Quinn, and we're going to win some championships. And we believe that. We don't just talk it, we walk it. And so when you say, why FAMU, I say, why not?
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it at this before I go. Now, and I have to say this, this, and this, we're gonna go off subject a little bit, but I saw my daughter. I was at my daughter's graduation, and I saw a lot of pretty little women. Just telling you, that fellas. My wife went to FAM, and I think she's beautiful. So I'm just telling you, little young fellas, you want to have you a decent looking wife, so you can have some decent looking children. I'm just telling you. So if you cannot go wrong being a young fella going to FAMU University. Now you can't get my daughter like that. Everybody, she off limits, but you can get some of them other people's daughters. So hey, make sure that you take a look at it. Make sure that, like, another thing too. Before we go, I meant to. I was just joking, but seriously, I'm glad I said that. Tell the kids what they need to do to set up visits to come through FAMU during the season.
Okay, well then every week we do have our online, our on-campus visits set up. So if you reach out to myself as the high school recruiting coordinator and Coach Kennedy, who is the on-campus recruiting coordinator, we can get that taken care of. We want to have it in by Tuesday, so we can coordinate the visit and make it as impactful and efficient as it needs to be, so both parties get the opportunity to meet the coaching staff, get a point and see the experience and experience the entire experience from that standpoint. But that will be the process.
And man, you did something. I'm gonna change it right now before I get up out of here, because you said something and did something that I like. So we're gonna change it real quick. And I want everybody to look at that ticket, because the man said, why not FAMU? So, hey, like he said, why not FAMU? So, hey, I appreciate your time, Coach, man. Thanks for everything. Look forward to seeing you out there again on the 17th. And, hey, kids, I'm putting them in front of you. Like they're telling you they're going to be here. What more do you want? You can't say that I don't want you to come crying to me in December, because I'm trying to give you opportunities now. All right, brother. I appreciate you.
No, I'm good. I appreciate you.
All right. Peace, 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 peace.